Hello fellow gardeners, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alice and I'm the Red Soil Gardener. Today, fellow gardeners, I'm going to talk about the Margarita. The Margarita is a beautiful plant. It's like a daisy. And you have so many different colors. I have a yellow, I have a pink, I have a white, another white, a nice lighter pink, and this lovely maroon color. Now, the thing about Margaritas, they come in so many different varieties and so many different colors. Like, for example, if you take this white one, it's actually a single petal. But the one on the ground there is actually more of a cluster of petals, and again the same thing with the pink, it's a cluster, and here we have a single petaled flower. Now, the thing about the Margaritas, what makes it so fascinating is, first of all, they're so durable. This plant here, I had bought it maybe about 3 weeks ago and potted it, and it must have been the size of this pink one, but look how fast, because of the warm weather, how fast it grows. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to multiply the Margarita. But the thing you have to remember is, first of all, it does like a lot of sun, and it can survive in a semi-shade area, but for as long as it's warm. Now, the other thing is that it likes a well-drained soil, because if you water it too much, if it receives a lot of water and you have a clay soil, whatever, you will get root rot and you might even get mildew. So have a really nice well-drained soil. I usually use river sand, and I will show you the texture. Margaritas, what beautiful colors you get. I mean, as you've seen, is that we have yellow ones, we have pink, white, dark sort of maroon, and a light pink. But then, as I mentioned earlier, is that all these beautiful flowers have got such different petals that makes it so much more interesting. Now, the thing about Margaritas is that they do grow to a big size, and so always use them for borders. And the thing about borders is that just give it enough space, about 3 meters if you're going to do a whole line to the next plant, because as they grow, they do really flop on the side with all their brilliance of colors, and so it's good to have a spacing. They would grow more or less about 3 feet, as you've seen in my previous, which will show you my other Margaritas. They do grow to about 3 feet. So also when you're landscaping, just keep that in mind. Now, the thing is I'm going to show you is how to propagate Margaritas, and it's actually a very simple process. What I have here is that I've picked up a stem from this Margarita, and as you see, this is what I'm going to propagate. Now, the thing is that when you're propagating, first of all, you don't want the flowers on the stem, nor do you want the buds. So I'm going to take those off. I'm just going to snip them off. Because the thing is, as we know before, is that when a plant is trying to grow, is that we don't want to give it the idea that it's supposed to be flowering, so that it goes, all the energy goes into making its root. And what we've chosen is a soft stem. Now, what I've done is that with this is that you can go for about 2 inches to 4 inches, but I thought this looks really quite nice, so I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to snip these bottom branches off like that, and I think I'll take this one off. So what I'm left is with a stem like that, and I'm just going to cut slightly below that node. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put it in water, and then I'm going to plonk it into some root hormone, which actually stimulates the growth of the roots. And with that, I'm going to put it in a well-drained soil where I have a lot of river sand here, because it'll help the roots find its way, whereas if you use a clay soil, you won't get that sort of rooting. It may get stuck. So I'm just going to throw it in here like that. And what I've done now is I have some others from the white margaritas that I had prepared, and here they are. And again, I've removed the stem. I'm going to put it in the water, plonk it in the root hormone, and then I'm going to put it in the soil. This one, I'm going to remove all this foliage and keep about 2, just to, so I'll show you which ones I'll keep. I think I'll keep the ones at the top, and I'm going to again snip it at an angle so that you have more surface. I'm going to put it in water, and I'm going to put it in a well-drained soil, just like that. And you can go on and on. Just make sure that you have, as I've done, sterilize your shears. Always do that, because you will get some sort of fungus transferred onto your other plants. And since I had an attack, I no longer do that. So I'm just going to snip it again at the node, at an angle, and then just continue. And anytime you do see a bud, just remove it, because we don't need buds at the moment. Here we go. So there you are, propagation for margaritas. Now I want to show you what I did about a month ago. And what I did is I did the propagation a month ago, and this is the rooting I got. This will take a month, and you see that lovely root structure here. And that is just simple propagation through this method. Now with this plant, it's not ready. I wouldn't plant it now because I think it's still quite small. I'm going to now increase the size of the pot and make sure it's well drained, again with holes at the bottom. And I'm going to make some room here, and I'm going to just put it in the soil. And once it does get strong enough, that's when I can decide where I'm going to place it. And I have another one which actually has a good rooting, but I'm just going to snip this a bit off so we don't have to curl it. And again, I have my well-drained soil, which has a lot of sand in it, river sand, and this will allow the roots to actually stretch out. And I'm going to again make a hole and put it in. The thing about margaritas, they do like for example now, for the next, until it sort of settles, for the next 3 weeks, I will water it regularly. Then after that, you know, don't overwater margaritas. As I said before, you will get root rot, or you may get mildew, and that's not good for your plants. And I'll just keep these ones here and do them later. Now, the other thing about margaritas is that as they grow, is in order to multiply your flowers, is we call it deadheading. So I have this margarita here, and this is a really good example. I'm going to pot it later, but not at this point, because I wanted to show you what to do with it. Deadheading is actually looking at your plant and taking these ones away, the ones which are spent. All the spent flowers I would remove, because that means you'll get additional blooms. Everything will start blooming again. That's the beauty about margaritas, is that once you deadhead them, they'll start blooming again, and you'll get more flowers. So let me have a look as we get rid of them. Now you see, the thing is that again with margaritas, because you get so many blossoms, is that if you do get into a situation that after the, sort of its growth period, and you do get a lot of your flowers. Now, in order to really increase your blooms, I would actually cut quite a lot of these flowers out and let it start again, and it will start. Thank you so much, fellow gardeners. Thank you for joining me on this show, and I hope I've given you some good tips here. Don't forget to like, to share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press that notification button. And also, if you do have any comments or tips, let's start sharing it, because it'll be also very helpful for me. Thank you so much, and happy Margarita's Day.